You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
This Friday, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are back to switch things up in Disney's Freakier Friday.
OMG, yes.
It's an absolute riot. Woo! And the only movie that can be described as
so much weirder than the last time. What last time?
It's the frequel
You ready?
we've been waiting for.
That absolutely slays.
What deeply out-of-touch old person came up with that?
You did.
Wow.
Don't miss the comedy event of the summer for all ages. Disney's Freakier Friday in theaters this Friday. Get tickets now. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Queen's Summer Break. This is an episode from a couple of years ago from our Patreon vault. This was a lot of fun, and we hope y'all enjoy. If you like this kind of stuff, check out our Patreon, and we will be back from our summer break in September. Oh, and if you're new to this show, we curse like sailors. We're going to use a lot of inappropriate language. So if you don't like your history with a couple of F-bombs, thanks for stopping by. All right. Cheers, bitches. Hi, this is Katie.
And this is Nathan.
And you're listening to Queen's Podcast, the show about women in history. So, Nathan, over on the main feed, we've been talking about Empress Matilda, the would-be Queen of England. You went down a little rabbit hole that you're going to bring us down today, didn't you?
Yes, I am so excited about this. It is something that shaped history for the rest of like 1,000+ years.
European history could be completely different if this event hadn't happened.
Absolutely. So what is it? It's the White Ship disaster.
Disaster, honey.
Yes. So it was a famous shipwreck in the 12th century where about 300 people died. And yeah, maybe the future fucking king of England.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Before we even pressed record just now, Nathan and I were talking about that there is, in this time period, in this Empress Matilda time period, there is so much to go over. There are so many rabbit holes. We didn't have time to talk about the White Ship disaster, except for really how it affected Matilda. But
no, this would forever completely change English history forever, because you wouldn't have the Plantagenets, you wouldn't have the Tudors, we wouldn't see people like Elizabeth of York. We wouldn't see people like, there's so many queens.
Eleanor of Aquitaine wouldn't have had anything to do with English history, probably.
Don't even get me started.
Ooh, Nathan, you should write some historical fiction, some like revisionary history, like novel about what if the White Ship disaster hadn't happened. Ooh. But anyway, Nathan, you're going to lead this rabbit hole, so take it away.
Before you dive into the actual shipwreck, I feel like you have to give some color and background to the story that we're going to tell. Add a little glitter to it. So we covered Matilda of Flanders in a previous episode. So again, if you haven't listened to that one, or the Empress Matilda one that we're about to cover right now a little bit, you should probably go listen to that.
You should probably go check both of those out. Yeah, I feel like they're relevant to the current storyline.
Maddie Flan, so Matilda of Flanders, was married to Le Conqueror, and his name was William, and he had 3 sons. Richard, William, because real creative with names, and then Henry the First. And when monarchs die, they name successors. And Sir William Le Conqueror decided he would make secession like super freaking complicated. So he gives Normandy to Richard, England to William, and then gives Henry a shitload of money and a little bit of Normandy. Like, it's like, thanks, Dad, for the American Express card, but would have rather some land. Yeah, just giving money to one person and land to another, that won't cause any drama.
No, because brothers without titles never start wars. Yeah. So we've got all these sons, and they've all got fragile dick energy, and they're all
they're all like, no, this land should be mine. This land should be mine, basically, right?
Exactly. And then guess what that causes? Battles.
Yes.
So Richard and William start fighting each other. And then they try to join forces with each other to fight Henry because he's got a lot of money. But then they go back to hating each other and just fighting all over again. So, and then William becomes king. So there's that. And then Henry, he's also being pulled into battle and doing all this shit. And so he's fighting with his brothers.
So it's just these three brothers that for like a decade or something are just fighting with each other at every chance, right?
Exactly. Ironically, whenever William II was in battle, because he was this great warrior, he was out hunting with his buddies and then he gets killed. So this is a whole nother rabbit hole that you can go down. Was it a conspiracy theory? No, honestly, it was a hunting accident and it was an honest accident, I think.
Okay.
Because Katie's coming in with facts.
I don't know. I just think that it's suspicious because when William died, Henry was on that hunting trip, right?
Yes, Queen.
And from what I've read, when William died, Henry didn't hang around to be like, oh no, my brother's been shot. Let's make arrangements for the funeral. Make sure that his body was handled with care. If I remember correctly, Henry just took the fuck off and was like, I need to get crowned.
Whole nother rabbit hole.
Another rabbit hole. Anyway, but
so
now
it is very, very likely that this could be not an accident. It also could be an accident. And guess what? That's what history does to us.
Yeah. We just don't fucking know. But I don't know. I like conspiracies.
And I do too.
So anyway, so Henry's now king, right?
Yeah. And there's no other heirs. So obviously the other two sons never had any heirs. So Henry is now like officially the king of England, Normandy, all of this kingdom.
Yes.
And he's very good about making economic decisions.
Okay.
He was also very strict on crime, very biblical. So you have to think at this time, we're moving from like the old Druid English ways into a more Christian, everything's established, like this is the right and this is the wrong.
Right.
So he's very much in that realm of the biblical judgment, if you will. So if you steal something, your hand gets cut off.
I think I've also heard if a woman cheats on her husband, cut her ear off or something like that. So I think women were getting their ears cut off and shit, and just like
it was very much like a biblical sort of and it's very icky. Yeah, they said that during this reign, women could walk alone with a purse full of gold across the country without being bothered, except they had no ear.
It's because they couldn't hear you coming, you know.
Right. So I mean, at the same point, like I get what they're saying is like it was a little bit more safe, whereas 100 200 years later, if you were a woman with gold in London, nobody's gonna write about that because they're gonna be like, yeah, she's dead.
Shouldn't have been doing that.
Gone.
Well, I think what they're probably also saying, like before that, the rule had been so much more lawless. And so now they're just comparing it to, okay, what they're saying is there is capital punishment now. Yes.
So at this point, to me, for Henry, the monarchy just kind of fell into his lap, if you will. I mean, I know he like forced it, but he kind of kept his distance a little bit, fought a little bit with his brothers, but he was very intellectually smart about it.
Yeah.
He was not thinking in the moment of like, I need legitimate heirs. He's just more about being a slut and having fun.
I mean, we all go through a hoe phase.
Yes, and he's going through a major hoe phase, like for the rest of his life.
I think his whole life was a hoe phase, but no shame.
He ends up having like, what is it, like 26 children?
I think like 24, I believe.
24?
24 acknowledged illegitimate children.
And then 2 legitimate.
Yeah.
So 26
Yeah,
altogether.
I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. That
So-
is so many. I do think it's kind of cool that I guess he didn't have to acknowledge and pay for all the children that he had, but he did.
Yeah, and that's what caused
I mean-
so much more drama in English history later on.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
because he did this.
Yeah.
At this point, he's like, all right, I got bros, I've got hoes. So you know what? Let's go piss off France.
Said every English king ever. Hey,
No.
let's go piss off France.
We don't have time for this, guys. But we all know that France and England fucking hated each other for a real long time. And this is kind of like the beginning of that ish.
Yeah.
So France thinks Henry's like running Normandy like a shit show. So what do dicks do? They start warring again.
Of course. Yay.
So another long battle story short. There's a battle at Rouen and Henry wins. And slowly France is just like, all right, we're done. We're done.
We're done.
No more Normandy for now.
Yeah.
Like in big parentheses for
For
now.
Asterisk, blinky emoji.
Again, yeah, we're in the 11th, 12th century.
Yeah.
So this has just started, children.
You know what doesn't belong in your hot girl summer plans, Nathan?
Getting burned worse than Joan of Arc by your wireless bill?
Ooh, that was dark. Right. While you're planning beach trips and barbecues, your phone plan should not be the villain in your story.
That's why I switched to Mint Mobile. You get the same premium wireless coverage and speed as the big guys, but for way less money.
Right now, Mint's got a limited time deal. 3 months of unlimited premium wireless for just $15 a month.
While your friends are out there getting surprise charges like Richard III at the Battle of Botsworth, you'll be chilling literally and financially.
Mint plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, and it's all on the nation's largest 5G network.
Bring your own phone, keep your number, and yes, even keep your entire contact list, including that ex that you swear you're over.
This year, skip breaking a sweat and the bank.
Get your 3-month unlimited plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/queens.
That's mintmobile.com/queens.
Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time, new customer offer for first 3 months only.
Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and extra fees may apply. See Mint Mobile for details. As summer winds down, I'm all about refreshing my wardrobe for fall. You know, layering season, cozy vibes, pretending I have my life together. And Quince gets it. They've got these luxe essentials that feel effortless, but look like you hired a stylist. I'm talking chic cashmere and cotton sweaters starting at just $40. Washable silk tops, classic denim, timeless staples I keep reaching for on repeat. And get this, everything is half the price of similar brands. Why? Because Quince works directly with top artisans and cuts out the middlemen. That means you get beautiful quality without the markup. They also only work with factories that prioritize safe, ethical, and sustainable practices, so you can look good and feel good. Personally, I have been living in this linen button-down shirt that I got. I got it oversized so I could wear it over bathing suits or over a little silk dress or something. And it goes so effortlessly from picnic to night out. Love it. Obsessed. It gives me rich auntie vibes without the price tag. So elevate your fall wardrobe with Quince. Head to quince.com/queenspod for free shipping and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/queenspod.
Yes.
King Henry's like, sweet, I'm gonna head to France. France is bowing down to me. We're gonna get official confirmation from the King of France that I am that bad bitch of Normandy. And then we can bounce back to England. So he's like, all right, let's bring all these nobles, everybody from England, generals, everybody, including 3 of his children, 1 legitimate, 2 illegitimate, doesn't matter. For now,
For now.
All he wants to do is just really rub the French face in it. Like he just wants to rub their faces in it.
Normandy is mine. It's not
Yeah.
yours.
He's bringing all those English nobles over literally just to be like, see, bow down to me. Essentially, that's what's happening. And in hindsight, maybe he should have practiced a little bit of humility here.
Oh, but no, that was not his thing.
Not his vibe. I mean, definitely. So Henry strolls up to Barfleur and is about to get on his ship. And then this guy, Thomas Fitzstephen, is like, I've got a really cool boat. It's white. And it's a ship.
And it's a ship. Let's go.
And
The
it's
white
called,
ship.
You Want to Ride? And then Henry's like, thanks, but no thanks.
I'm good,
I've got my ye old trusty wood. I don't need to ride ye old white wood. Oh, that's like the story of my dating life. Sorry, I mean, we're talking about ships. Ships. Sorry. So he decides to take his old faithful ship back to England. So Thomas Fitzstephen was probably butthurt about this, that the king's like, I don't want to take your ship. And he's like, meh. So I can totally see that moment where he's like, oh man. And I think the king at that point was like, it's okay. It's okay. My son also needs a ship and also needs to get back to England. So, why not?
Let the kids take it.
Yeah, exactly. So Thomas Fitzstephen's just not some random guy that he met out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like he was a son of a captain who fought for Henry's dad, William de Conqueror.
So they go way back.
I'm trying to start as much shit between England and France as possible.
Le Conqueror. So him and this Fitzstevens guy go way back.
Yeah, they're like cool. So it's not like some random, like an Uber ride that just randomly shows up. Like, no, he knows him. It's a trusted person.
And he doesn't want to diss him by being like, no, I don't want your stupid ship. So he's like, let my son take it.
Exactly. Okay. And then Henry at this point is like, hey, cool shit, bro. Maybe my son does want to take a ride on your boat. Yeah. And then his son, William Adelin, is like, fuck yeah. Direct quote.
William Adelin. Fuck yeah.
So a little bit about the white ship, and then we'll get a little bit into William Adelin. So let's get first into the white ship.
Okay.
So the white ship, Viking ship. So back in the day, we all know Viking ships were just fast, strong, reliable. So in point of construction terms, okay, wow. Nathan's going to talk construction.
Construction. Okay. Nathan's going to talk about building ships and shit. Okay.
So, Vikings and the Normans had a lot of similarities. They're super fast, super strong, super light, and it's like one of those ships that's OMG so pretty. And that's all I know about ships.
Is it this one? This one was super fast and super pretty.
Yeah. Check. Yeah, thank you. And it also had that vibe of like, it's the best ship in the sea. So a lot of people will compare this to the Titanic. So whenever people research the white ship, they'll try to draw these parallels to the Titanic. And it makes sense. And we'll get into that later.
Okay.
Because there's a lot more that you'll see a little bit on. So anyway, a little bit about William. We talked about the white ship. Now it's time to talk about William.
Yes.
So he's obviously been raised in this bougie, beautiful lifestyle. I mean, future heir. He's quote unquote handsome, but let's be real. All the kings back then were considered handsome. Let's all call back to the Habsburgs and look at Philip the Handsome. He wasn't that handsome.
So we don't. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And also, what are the chroniclers of the time gonna write? Like, he was really rough looking.
Right. Sorry, I can't help a good Habsburg joke. Like, who can?
Right.
But for real, the historians at this time were like, this bitch is pampered. Like, he's pampered.
Of course.
He had the finest clothes, the finest foods, the finest wines. And I really appreciate this about him.
Yeah.
He's like 17 though. So this is the problem, is that he's like 17. So at this time, I'm kind of getting a little bit of frat bro vibes.
Oh, right? I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, he was a little bit of a dude bro. I could see that.
Dude bro, bougie bitch. And he's not the only bougie bitch frat bro on this motherfucker. So remember, King Henry just had to invite all the important people in England to go with him to rub those French faces in their loss. But he invited half-brother Richard of Lincoln, who was a pretty good person. He fought alongside him with his dad in France. Meanwhile, Prince William Adelin didn't do anything.
Right.
He also had his half-sister Matilda Fitzroy, and then a number of other English nobles and generals, and everybody that was to do was on this boat.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, it was like all the kids of the important people. So this was the boat for like the 25 and under crew, basically.
It's the party boat.
Yeah.
It is the party boat. The one that you see floating across the lake or the beach or wherever you are. It's just that
it's the booze cruise. Have you ever seen that episode? Have you ever seen that episode of The Office?
We need to do a booze cruise on a booze cruise.
I would love to do a booze cruise on a booze cruise.
All right, we're making a drink video on a booze cruise.
We're on a boat.
So they are on a boat. They are on a high. They have just won Normandy. And you know what? It's time to party.
Time to party.
It's giving me like Friday Night Lights, post-football win sports thing. Yay, y'all.
Totally. Yay, y'all. Absolutely. Okay. Yes.
I did it. Did I say it right?
You did it. You did. Sure. Excellent.
Okay.
Great job.
They made a home run.
That sports things. Time to party. I understand the party part.
Yes. So
they won a thing and now it's time to party.
Yeah, there was like probably beer pong or wine pong.
Mead pong.
Wine pong sounds fun, actually.
Wine pong does sound fun.
But speaking of wine, there were barrels on barrels on barrels on barrels on barrels.
Barrels on barrels on barrels on barrels. I love it. I love to
Again, think of Friday Night Lights post-football win. Like, yeah, we're all jacked up. Woo-hoo!
Instead of doing a keg stand, you do a barrel of wine stand.
So the ship was lit.
Love it.
Can you imagine, though, like for 1 second, being a teenager, your dad just wins this big-ass battle, claim this whole land, and now you make the French faces cry. Like,
yeah. And
you're
then
on
he's
this
like,
beautiful
let's celebrate. He's like, here,
Party
take your
boat.
own boat with your friends and your brothers and sisters that are your age and just go crazy. And he did.
They're like docked up, just sitting there, passing out goblets on goblets on goblets. People probably puking overboard, some.
It's not a party unless someone's puking.
Right. And then some people singing and dancing and having a great time. And guess what? The ship hasn't even sailed yet.
And everyone's already fucked up.
Yeah. They haven't even taken off.
What could possibly go wrong?
Everything. Literally, priests walk by and are like, that's some debauchery.
That is some sin happening on that dock. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the priest walk away. Are you okay? I almost made Nathan. For y'all that can't see the visual of that, I went into my little song and Nathan had just taken a big old gulp of wine, getting into character, and it almost came right out his nose.
Sitting on the dock, watching the priest. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, woo. So some priests walk by and are like, "This ship needs to be blessed.
Y'all need Jesus."
Yes. And the prince and everyone else around them are like, "Nah, bruh.
No,
we're good. We're good.
Fine.
Yeah. No, this is great. I mean, yeah. Okay. Wait. Princey Pooh. What's it gonna hurt? You want the priest wants to come up and give a blessing? Come up here and give a blessing. This is fine. This is fine.
But give a blessing to as your heart's little content.
Right?
Priest. Yeah.
Right? This also could be a load of BS from the
maybe
monks
never even
that
happened.
wrote history. So
yes.
More on that later. So there was this guy named Stephen of Blois, and we're not going to get into a lot of this, but however, we will cover a little bit of the theories of what happened before. So
if you remember from our episode, he was the party pooper.
Party pooper, literally. So Stephen, who, spoiler alert, may or may not be king at some point, got off the ship and left. So there are a few accounts of why he got off. Number one, the priest didn't bless the ship, so he was spooked by the devil. That's the monk version.
Yeah. Like God moved him to not
do it. Yes.
Yeah, to not sail on that ship.
Number two, he had the shits. Didn't feel so well.
Yeah, the shits on the ship.
Maybe he ate something wrong. Maybe he was partying too hard the night before, drinking a little bit too much.
The shits on the ship, and he didn't want to shit on the ship, so he had to get off the ship and be a party pooper.
So, and then the last account was he got so fucking wasted on the ship before it took off that he got too sick to set sail, and that's the Wikipedia version.
Okay.
Either way, he gets off. He's like, oh, this is too much. Bye.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you have this in your notes, so feel free to take this out, but like, are you going to go over that some people believe that maybe Stephen sabotaged the ship somehow?
Yeah, I heard that there was the thing that Stephen sabotaged the ship somehow. However,
how would he have though?
Yeah, how would he have gone that far to do it? And also, he killed a lot of people that would have been beneficial to him as well.
Yeah.
Like, so he lost, like, in that shipwreck, there were people that would have been loyal to him.
Right.
That he lost. So it doesn't make sense why he would do that, but it was a conspiracy, another tinfoil hat moment. Did he really plan it? I don't think so.
I don't see how he would have done it. Yeah, I don't either.
I get the rabbit holes, and everybody likes to go down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole, but sometimes you need to pull yourself out because it might not be real.
Yeah. And I'm not a Stephen stan, but like I just wonder, like, how would he have done? What could he have done? Yeah, I agree.
So before we set sail, let's set the seed.
Okay.
So the priests are getting kicked off the boat because, you're killing our vibe, man.
We are trying to party.
Yeah, exactly. Wine is getting poured. Lots of singing and dancing. There's some hooker named Matilda, probably still giving a hand job in the cockpit.
Karaoke and HJs. Like, that is drinking games and mead pong. Like, just going crazy.
And then meanwhile, William is just handing out wine to everybody. Just like, hey, let's drink.
Yeah.
But can you imagine being a crew member at this point, right?
Or what do you mean?
I think the crew at this point is thinking, oh, it's a party. Okay. Yeah, this could be fun. Okay, this could be fun. We could do this.
Let's just try to keep it at this level, though. Let's not get any more rowdy than we already are, maybe.
Right? The prince is here. The nobles are here. They're wanting to party. Let's just chill. Let's have a good time.
Yeah.
And then the prince decides to bring the crew 3 barrels of wine and is like, drink up.
Drink up. Only pussies don't drink and drive.
Right. It's time to play wine pong.
Come on, don't be a party pooper like Steven. Drink up, y'all.
They're bouncing balls into ye old goblets, having a blast, playing wine pong.
I really want to play wine pong now, but with goblets specifically. Not the red Solo cups, with some goblets.
They have to be goblets.
Has to
be. And at this point, I don't think the captain was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to partake. But I mean, it's wine pong with goblets.
The captain couldn't resist. The crew couldn't resist.
Everybody in the boat getting tipsy.
everybody in the boat getting more than tipsy. Everybody's getting fucked up.
So needless to say, they drunk and they're about to set sail. And the drunk party boat bitches started harassing the captain to be like, catch up to the king's ship because the king took off about, an hour before. But we got the white ship. We got this really powerful
thing. It's bigger. It's faster. It's better. Catch up. And the crew's
and that's exactly what happened. So I'm sure the king was like, in hindsight, the king's like, thank God I didn't take that white ship.
Right.
But he didn't party. He didn't do it, but he was probably off boning some mistress. Let's be real.
I mean, there's always a chance that King Henry I was balls deep in some mistress. Important historians have said.
Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to help you make the most of your summer with Michelob Ultra, a superior light beer worth playing for. Play for it with the guys when you're competing to see who can sink more birdies on the golf course, because winning tastes even better with Ultra on the line. Play for Ultra. Fill your fridge with Michelob Ultra this summer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The #1 selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Yes. So while the King Henry is balls deep in his mistress, his son's trying to catch up in a boat that was not quite ready for it. In my opinion, I'm just picturing this party boat with a bunch of frat boys, and they're like, let's catch up to your dad. And they're like, yeah, we'll show her our boobs. And they're like, woo. And spoiler alert, there were no boobs being flashed today. It did not happen. The sails on the ship were, I don't know, set loose. I'm not nautical. I don't know what
they were set.
They went set real fast, y'all.
They were put in gear drive. Go gear. Go gear, go. Both.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're feeling their speed racer fantasy.
Love it.
And then bam. They hit a rock. They hit it. And the rock they hit was called Kilbuff.
It's called what?
Perfectly. Kilbuff. It's
the rock had a name?
Kilbuff. Yeah. It's in the air. Well, now it has a name because the white ship ran into it.
Oh, yeah.
They named the rock after, I don't know what it means. It's after the area in which,
Okay.
Anyway. So the boat, after hitting ye old rock, starts to fall over and capsize, right? So when you hit something, it tends to lean over and be like, whoa. So all the sailors get hooks and big metal boards and try to like prop the boat up. However, the current says no. And ends up ripping the boat in essentially
half.
Yes.
Fuck. And everyone's, well, I don't know, that might sober you up real quick. The adrenaline of, oh fuck, the boat just broke in half.
Yeah, but you're still drunk. Like, so you can sit here and say, oh, you sobered up. No, you still got alcohol in your system.
You're still super drunk, and everyone's just, oh god, can you just imagine the absolute chaos?
The boat splits open and you're in the middle of the ocean. Like, you fucked.
In the winter.
Yes. November 25th. of 11:20 is when this happened. So it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
Like, so again, this is another moment where you get the Titanic vibes, right?
Because the
Like,
Titanic split in half. Though this boat would have been a lot smaller.
Not only,
Titanic.
not a lot smaller, but split in half in cold, icy weather.
Yeah.
So you get that same hypothermia vibes. So I'm gonna digress at this point. Sorry,
Digress away.
So there's lots of similarities between the Titanic and the White Ship.
Okay.
Great comparison.
Okay.
The Titanic hit an iceberg. You know, the captain was going full speed ahead. It was the unsinkable ship. You know, I get it. The White Ship is the exact same thing. However, the Titanic hit an iceberg, not a rock.
Yeah.
The captain wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
And there weren't any royals. I mean, quote unquote, English royals on board the ship, because some may say that American royals were on the Titanic, like the American capitalist people,
but they're not,
were like bankers and shit. You could fight that and say, oh, but capitalist royals were there.
We do not have monarchy.
Not the same. Because if I were to say, oh my gosh, Prince William was on a boat, and like Prince William, you know, the one that's the heir to the throne now, right? Not the one that died
in this story.
Yeah. Yep. If I were to say Prince William died in a shipwreck, people would lose their shit, right?
Yeah.
Also in the Titanic, 1,500 people died.
Yeah.
And only 300 people died in the White Ship.
Right.
So
a lot less.
Yeah. Not quite the same comparison here. They're two separate events. They have a lot in common. And in my opinion, the White Ship had more shape in history than the Titanic did, because I feel like if William Adelin would have survived, then it could have been completely different. And I was struggling with this because I was like, you know, you have your tyrants, right, in history.
Yeah.
And in the Plantagenets and the Tudors, we all know you have tyrants. But at the same point, I was like, who's to say that, you know, William Adelin's offspring wouldn't have been tyrants? Again, let's dig ourselves out of that rabbit hole.
Whoosh, whoosh. That's me digging. I don't know why it makes the whoosh sound, but it does.
So this ship is going down, but they managed to get the prince on a lifeboat. And there are people all around just thrashing in the cold water. So just remember, if you've seen the movie Titanic, think of that. You know, whenever they're in the cold water and they're like, they're screaming. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. And
except it's 300 people, not 1,500, but still,
there's a lot of people, and they're screaming. They're drunk and they're disoriented because they're in cold water and they're drunk. And that's the whole thing that I think had a big key in this, is that a lot of people in modern day think that alcohol warms you up, but it does not. It makes it worse. So whenever you're cold, drinking alcohol makes you colder, and it makes you sweat more, which makes you colder. So it's not good.
Really? Because whenever I always use the phrase like liquid blanket, but that's just like a trick that my brain plays on myself.
You feel warmer because your skin is warmer. It's like, no, actually you're giving off heat, and the cold is making you colder. It's not good for you. So you're not supposed to drink when you're cold, because it can make it worse. Plus you have to think of the mental aspect of it too, right? If you're disoriented in cold water, then you're not thinking as clearly as a sober person would. If you're not able to grab onto something that could help you be afloat, you're just you don't know. So there's that whole aspect too. You don't have the mental capabilities to be able to make good decisions because you're drunk. It's probably not a good idea to get drunk and be in a shipwreck. You heard it here first.
Wild take. I know I'm gonna get shit for this, but like maybe don't get drunk and then almost drowned. And then drowned. Totally drowned. Not just almost.
And so the prince is on this lifeboat and he's on his way out to safety. And then all of a sudden I can just hear it. You don't have the balls to save me, you damn coward.
Yes, I've heard this story before. I've heard that story before. So who's yelling that at him?
That is his half sister, literally screaming at him, being like,
fucking coward, you're leaving me here. I'd do the same to my little brother. If I was on a sinking ship and I saw Bobby on a boat getting the fuck out of here, I'd do this. I'd be like, you're really going to fucking leave me here, Robert? And I'd use the full name like I do when I'm being sassy with him. And I would guilt him into coming back, but it doesn't seem like that really did anybody any good, did it?
I mean, well, the thought was there. There was a nice thought there. And that was William Adeline was like, "Aw, my sister's yelling at me. Maybe I should turn around." Bad fucking move. So, moral of the story, if you're in a boat and there are people fighting for their lives in freezing water, they're going to do everything that they can to get on your boat.
To get into that boat that you are on.
Yes. So it starts with one person putting their arm on it. Then it starts with another person putting their arm on it. Then those people start to pull it down a little bit so more people can put their arms on it.
And this is just like a little rowboat, though. It's not like it's not meant to carry a bunch of people.
And then all it takes is like 4 or 5 people trying to get on this boat, and then bloop, in the water. Done. So literally that small little survival boat capsizes. It sinks, taking the prince with him. They said that there was a person that survived that was a butcher. Some say that he was just like a common merchant type of thing. Like he was just a commoner, essentially. And in my opinion, I think that because the butcher was a commoner, he likely did not drink on the boat because he was a commoner and wasn't served alcohol like the nobles would have been.
Well, yeah, but wasn't all the crew?
The crew was, but he was like part of the lower part of it.
Oh, okay. So
he was like a cook sort of thing. So he might not have actually drank that night. So in my opinion, I think he may have had a little bit more wits about him.
Yeah.
Like he also didn't have that whole hypothermic alcoholism thing. In my opinion, what I'm picturing is this butcher being like, oh, this ship went down. I'm in freezing water. There's a piece of wood over here. Let me grab that piece of wood and try to float on it. Oh, there's another piece of wood over there. Let me grab that and try to float on it. And just started like grabbing things to try to float on it to keep himself above the freezing water. That's what I think
that's a theory. Since I didn't know anything about this alcohol making you being in freezing situations worse, since I didn't know that, I hadn't thought about that. But now that makes so much sense. If the one person that maybe wasn't drinking is the one that survived because they didn't have that increased chance of hypothermia, like you were explaining.
Yeah, not only that, but like they had the mental capability to be like, oh, wait, let me save myself.
Yeah.
Like, whereas when you're drunk and then you're in shock,
you're just panicking.
Yeah. Like, so it's two different mindsets. So obviously all these people died. This greatly impacted the rest of nobility. Like we legitimately have a moment that we're going to talk about called the Anarchy.
Yes.
It's going to be mentioned maybe a little in future episodes, but changes the way that English lineage ever happened. Like after that,
like every single noble family was affected, really.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, without this, we wouldn't have had Isabella of France, the she-wolf.
Oh my gosh. But also the families, just like the different dukes and earls and shit like that. Like it changed the landscape of their families too, because so many of nobility had brought their kids along with them over to Normandy for the shove it France party, you know?
Right. And so at the beginning of this, I said that, the monks wrote the history and did all of that. So a lot of these accounts that we talked about were, again, like a lot of the stuff we talk about, written way after the fact.
Yeah.
Not so much in this case. It was only like 15, 20 years after the fact, but it all comes with a big caveat. The account of William Adelin is the caveat. So some say that the monks who wrote the history were looking for a way to say that God intended this. So what I'm trying to say is that they wanted to paint William out to be this incompetent, spoiled brat, that he was the reason that the ship sank because God knew he wouldn't be a good king. So that's the reason the ship. So the monks made it into this spiritual explanation of history. And that's probably where we get a lot of history, folks.
Yeah.
But it's that whole like thing. And at the end of the day, I have to say in a modern day lens, I'm like, maybe it was okay that he died in that shipwreck, or else I may not be alive today.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was because he was a spoiled brat. Like that's kind of what I'm getting at. I think people rewrote history, because we've seen that.
Yes.
To make some people out to be worse than they are. But I think this moment in history of the White Ship forever changed the world, if we want to look at it.
Definitely
and
Europe.
Changed Europe and changed how things were done and dynasties and monarchies for the rest of how we know it.
If William hadn't died, if William hadn't died in that, he may have also just got a paper cut the next day and died of something else. But if he would have lived long enough to have heirs, we would have avoided the anarchy, which we're going to get into soon with the Empress Matilda episodes. And we would have then avoided, like you said, we wouldn't have the Plantagenets. We wouldn't have the Tudors.
No, we wouldn't have any of that. And as much as I'm like, damn, we wouldn't have the Tudors. It's like, but we wouldn't have all that drama. But we would have had other drama. I feel like there's other drama that would.
What revisionist drama can we think of? Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Right, of course. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you guys joined us for this. It was so much fun to research this.
Yes.
I'm sure you're gonna hear a lot more about this story because House of Dragons, y'all.
House of Dragon. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for bringing us down that rabbit hole, Nathan. And I'll catch you soon over on the main feed talking about Matilda some more.
Yes.
All right. Cheers, bitches.
Yeah, Film Vault.
We are one of the original film podcasts.
That can't be true.
There was like 2 other film podcasts when we began, Brian.
How long are we doing the show?
You and I first sat down and did a version of the show over 20 years ago.
My God.
2 episodes each week. One,
we review movies, and the first episode, and the second one, different top 5 every week. Movies that made you cry. Worst movie accents. Most disturbing movies. All right, the Film Vault. Check it out.
Wherever you find podcasts.
That's right. The Film Vault, going on 20 plus years.